The internet is angry again. One statement, one post, or one decision, and suddenly the whole world is divided. Today, we're breaking down the biggest controversies trending right now. What happened, why people are upset, and what it really means. Let's get into it. One of the biggest ongoing debates right now is the clash between free speech and cancel culture. It seems like every week, a public figure says something that splits the internet down the middle. One side calls it honest and brave, while the other calls it offensive and harmful. Within hours, social media just explodes. Hashtags start trending, brands are pressured to cut ties, and the person at the center of it all is either celebrated as a martyr for free expression or condemned as irresponsible. This highlights a key question that societies all over the world are struggling with. Where do we draw the line? Supporters of absolute free speech argue that cancel culture is a modern-day witch hunt, silencing any opinion that goes against the mainstream narrative. They believe that even uncomfortable ideas should be heard and debated openly. They'll say that if you start censoring one thing, you open the door to censoring everything, and that true progress comes from challenging established norms. On the other side, critics argue that words have real-world consequences. They believe that certain speech isn't just an opinion, but an act that can incite harm, spread dangerous misinformation, or marginalize vulnerable communities. For them, accountability isn't about silencing people. It's about asking them to take responsibility for the impact of their platforms. They argue that freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, especially when you have a massive audience. And right now, the internet simply cannot agree on where that balance lies. It's a digital tug-of-war with no end in sight. And it's not just words causing controversy. Sports is no longer just about what happens on the field or court, it's about the decisions athletes make off of it. Recently, we've seen several high-profile sports stars accept massive, eye-watering contracts from leagues or sponsors with controversial backgrounds. The backlash has been immediate and intense. Fans have flooded comment sections, accusing these players of selling out and choosing money over values. They see these athletes as role models, who have a moral duty to represent more than just their own financial interests. The argument is that by accepting this money, they are implicitly endorsing the actions of the organizations funding them. But it's not that simple. Others jump to the athletes' defense, arguing that they have a right to secure their financial future and a career. That is often brutally short. They say it as hypocritical for fans to criticize players, when many of the companies sponsoring major leagues and teams worldwide have their own questionable practices. These defenders believe an athlete's primary job is to be a professional, not a moral compass for the public. This controversy has turned sports news into a constant moral debate, splitting fan bases and making us question what we really expect from our heroes. Now, let's shift from the physical world to the digital one, where a new, unsettling controversy is brewing around artificial intelligence. AI-generated videos, voices, and images deepfakes are becoming so realistic that people can no longer tell what is real and what is not. We've all seen those viral clips that spark outrage or confusion. Maybe it's a politician appearing to say something they never said, or a celebrity seemingly endorsing a product they've never heard of. For a few hours, people believe it, share it, and get angry about it. Then, the truth comes out. It was all fake, generated by AI. The big concern here is profound. If we continue to trust what we see or hear online, what happens to the concept of truth itself? This isn't some distant, sci-fi future. It's happening right now. Governments are scrambling to figure out how to regulate this technology without stifling innovation. The creative community is divided. Some celebrate AI as a revolutionary new tool for art and entertainment, while others fear it will lead to chaos, making it impossible to hold anyone accountable for misinformation. This controversy is a ticking clock, and every new realistic deepfake just adds to the pressure. And while AI is a new threat, an older one is also under the microscope: the responsibility of influencers. A recent viral incident showed just how quickly a single careless post can spark massive backlash. An influencer might promote a questionable product, make an insensitive comment, or simply stay silent on an important issue, and suddenly their career is on the line. Critics argue that these influencers are profiting from their platforms without any real accountability. They build up trust with millions of followers and then, critics say, they exploit that trust for personal gain, often without thinking about the consequences. But their supporters have a different take. They argue that audiences choose who to follow and that the responsibility goes both ways. If you don't like what an influencer is doing, you can just unfollow. They see it as a free market of ideas and personalities, and they believe that holding influencers to the same standard as journalists or politicians is unfair. This whole debate has revived an old question for our new digital world. Should influence come with a set of rules? With millions of people watching every move, every post, and every sponsored ad, Even an influencer's silence on a topic can now be seen as a controversial statement in itself. So, why does it feel like we're living in an age of constant controversy? There are a few key reasons. First, social media spreads reactions instantly. An opinion that might have once been confined to a small group can now go global in minutes. Second, the algorithms that run these platforms are designed to reward outrage. The more clicks, comments, and shares a post gets, the more it's shown to people. And nothing gets more engagement than anger. Third, our consumption of media has changed. We often see things in short clips, completely removed from their original context, which makes it incredibly easy to misunderstand or misrepresent what was actually said or done. And finally, everyone now has a platform. This has democratized speech, but it has also amplified every single disagreement. Controversy grabs our attention, and in the digital world, attention is power. But it is important to remember that not every controversy has a clear villain or a clear hero. Often, it's just a reflection of our society grappling with complex, uncomfortable questions that have no easy answers. These were some of the biggest controversies shaping our conversations right now. This channel doesn't exist to tell you what to think. It's here to help you understand why people are so divided in the first place. For more daily trending stories that break down the why behind the what, make sure to subscribe and comment below. Which controversy do you think is being misunderstood the most? Thanks for watching.